Megatron,
Megatron.
the Hall of Fame receiver, will be first ballot Hall of Fame receiver, Jimmy, will be inducted into the Lions, Pride of the Lions, whatever, Ring of Honor, at Ford Field in September during one of their home games, during the Week 4 matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. Jimmy, he was the number 2 overall pick in the 2007 draft from Georgia Tech, and he compiled 731 catches for 11,000 plus yards and 83 touchdowns, and set the record as the first player to have 2,000 yards receiving in a season. Jimmy, is Megatron the greatest receiver of all time?
He's the greatest Lion receiver of all time.
That should have been the question I asked, Jimmy. Wait, well, hold on. Let's do that.
And not to detract from his greatness.
Herman Moore was a great receiver.
Herman was great.
Brett Perriman was very good.
Perriman was good.
All right.
But Megatron, like you just ran off his stats and the love that he gets and has gotten. And I'll see him. I'll see him next week, actually. I'll see him. I will be golfing in my brother Jalen Rose's celebrity golf outing fundraiser for his school, JRLA Academy in Detroit. So I'll see him there, like you mentioned earlier, giving back to the community, awesome. Raising funds and helping out the kids. So with that being said, yes, he is one of the greatest, probably the greatest Detroit Lions receiver of all time. And he definitely is in the conversation of a greatest of all time, up there with Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and the likes.
And T.O., don't forget my guy T.O., right? I can't leave T.O. out on any greatest list, because T.O. would not leave T.O. out on any greatest list.
T.O. put T.O. first.
T.O. would put T.O. first. That's right. T.O. is definitely one of the greatest personalities of all time. There is no doubt about that. I'm going to go ahead and say I wish I would have changed this question, because I agree. He is the greatest Lions receiver of all time. And we've talked about this before. I think it's really unfair to pick a GOAT at a position that spans multiple generations, because it's just different, right? Mm-hmm. It's just the league was different. The league was different in the 60s than it was in the 80s and 90s that it is today, right? And so great receivers then can't really be compared to great receivers now. But yes, you have Jerry Rice, you have Randy Moss, you have, Megatron, right? And there's lots of guys that are in the Hall of Fame. Andre Reed, and there's just so many wide receivers in the Hall of Fame. Michael Irvin, right? Drew Pearson. So many great receivers over the course of history. I do think Calvin Johnson, in his era, was one of the most dominant, period. And I'll leave it at that. It's hard to call anyone the greatest, but he was very, 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 very good for his generation and his time.